Hello there, and welcome back to the SalonTouch video channel. In this part 2 of the appointment book, we're going to look at several things. We're going to look at how to book an appointment, a basic appointment, how we're going to check clients in from the appointment calendar, how we're going to go about canceling and rescheduling an appointment. We can go and see how we create a recurring appointment or multiple appointments, and some other features. Let's start by scheduling an appointment. Let's say a client calls us on the phone, or they've just stayed and are leaving and they want to book an appointment. How do we do that? So the first way is we can pull up the client's profile. So let's say the client is Mr. Ferrano. We pull up his profile. And now we have his profile here in front of us. And let's say that he wants to book an appointment later on this afternoon for 2 o'clock in room number 7, which is the stand-up room. So I would go at 2 p.m. in room number 7 and just click on the cell here, double click on the cell, and it would bring up a window that says 2 p.m. for 20 minutes. I could put in a memo if I want to, something like he might be a little late, or I can change the time by clicking on different things. So let's say 2 o'clock is fine for us, and we book, and there we go. Now James is booked for 2 o'clock in room number 7. Another easy way to book an appointment, let's say the client is in front of us or is on the phone, and they say, hey, can you book me up in the body rep, the room number 3? I could go to the room number 3 here and pick up a time. What time? 3 o'clock. I can just click on the room here. It would bring up a profile. I could search for a client. For example, I'm looking for Sherry Smith. I could click on that. 3 o'clock for 20 minutes. I could put in a memo as usual. Might be a little early. And that's it, and there we go. Now you see Sherry is booked for 3 o'clock in room number 3. Now let's go ahead and check a client in. Let's take a look at Kathy Ferranto. She's already coming to the salon. She had an appointment for 11:30. So I just go on her name here on the calendar book. I double click on it. A window pops up. Now there are many things I can do. I can cancel the appointment. I can reschedule the appointment. I can adjust the minutes. I can create multiple standing appointments or book multiple appointments. I could take her to the register and she wants to buy something for today. But let's say in this case, all we want to do is check her in. So I'm just going to say check in. It would confirm room number 7. I say, yep, that's the room. No. Yes. And it would take me to the screen. I would pick up the package. And I would say, okay. And there she goes. Kathy is now happily tanning. Now let's go ahead and see how we cancel and reschedule an appointment. So Sherry Smith calls in. She says she can't make it for today. So I click on her room and I say, let's say reschedule. She wants to reschedule it for 5 p.m. today. So I would just go and say 5 p.m. Make sure it's okay. I could put in a memo if I wanted to, and there we go. Now we have rescheduled her from 3 o'clock to 5 p.m. Now let's go and see how we can cancel an appointment. Mr. Robert Hughes calls us and says he wants to cancel the appointment. There's no problems. I just click on his name, brings up the window, and I say cancel appointment. It would ask me, do you want to reschedule it? I don't want to reschedule it. He just wants to cancel it for now. So I would say no. And there, it's gone. And the appointment has been canceled. Let's assume a client walks in and wants to schedule multiple appointments. How do we do that? Well, the easiest way would be, let's pick up the client here, and let's say it's Mr. James Ferrano. And now I have his profile. Right here where it says multiple bookings, I cross-check, check mark it. Now he wants to book an appointment for today at 3 o'clock. So I would double click on here, and this looks okay. And now he also wants to book an appointment for October, let's say September 6th. So I click on September 6th. It brings me to the screen for September 6th. And he wants the same room, same time. So I double click on here, 3 p.m. on September 6th. And there it is. And he also wants to book an appointment for November. So let's see, November 9th, for example. Now it's brought me to the November 9th screen, but this time he wants to book an appointment at 11 o'clock in room number 3. So I click on that, 11 o'clock, 20 minutes, and that's okay. Now we have booked him multiple times. Now let's say a customer walks in and wants to do standing appointment every week. So let's, he wants to do it at 1 o'clock in room number 9. So I double click on that and I go and look for his profile. And it's Mr. Hunt here, or it's Mr. Robert. I would click yes for 1 p.m. today, and then I would click on his name and say create standing. Now he wants every 7 days for the next 26 weeks, which is fine. So I say apply. Now if I go up here at the bottom and click the weekly tab here, I see that Mr. Hughes here has got an appointment for September 6th, a week from now. Then I go again to the next week, September 13th. He's got one for September 20th up here, and so on and so forth. Now if Robert wanted to know all his appointments, or he needs a printout of all his standing appointments, I could go and do a find here. Say find, let me see, Robert Hughes, and it would give me a list of all the appointments that Robert has. So he's got one on the 6th and 13th, the 20th, and so on and so forth. I could print this out and give it to Robert, or if I wanted to cancel a particular date, I could do that too. Now the last thing I wanted to show you was, let's say Robert had walked in and for his appointment and he wants to buy something. I would click on his name here, and before checking him in, if I wanted to sell him something, I could click on the register here, and it would take me straight to the register, and I could proceed to sell him whatever I need to sell him and tender it. And there we go. And now we could go back to the screen and continue our business, maybe check him in. So I hope this has given you an idea of how to use the appointment calendar. It's a very powerful tool, very useful, and there's so many things you can do just from one screen, and it'll help you to organize your business. So I hope this was useful to you again, and we will see you very, very soon in our next video. Thank you. Bye.